Alright, guys, we're back. We're gonna go into another segment I haven't done in possibly 2 years. And it's called Knickronicon, where I go over the New York Knicks and their struggles. Of course, because obviously, whenever talking about something negative, it somewhat gets a bit of buzz, or else I wouldn't have gotten the views I did over the past week or two. So, we're gonna go over the Knicks. They've only won 2 of their last 5 games, getting decimated in a 10-point deficit against the Oklahoma City Thunders, getting shut out in a 10-point deficit against the Warriors, and you allowed, I don't know, Cameron Payne, when Chris Paul was injured for the Phoenix Suns, to drop double digits. Career six-man, of course, a notable role player for the Oklahoma City Thunder from the 2010s. Now has been an improving rotation player for the Suns. And he comes around dropping 21 points off his first time starting. Now, there's only an immense amount of tolerance I give to mediocrity when there's at least been effort. Whenever I see Jalen Brunson on the floor and he motions over the offense, he creates his own play. Because Brunson is actually an amazing player. I still feel like he got overpaid, but I'm not going to say that he doesn't produce whenever he's on the floor. He played near 30 minutes, came around with 27 points, 3 assists, off over 3 total rebounds, coming with no steals. Quentin Grimes accumulated more assists and he pushed over 10 points. And Brunson was the only person who averaged around over 15 points over that game. RJ Barrett, that we paid over $100 million and a quarter, come around with 12 points over 26 minutes with a minus 24% because he came around shooting 3 of 11. I didn't even watch the Suns game. I watched the Warriors game from last week, and I could already tell they pissed the bed. Because there's bench players on the Suns. Half the bench already produced more than the starting 5. 3 out of the starting 5. And the Warriors game was even worse because the Warriors are in a slump. They started off slow, being the 3rd worst team of the Western Conference not that long ago. They're 27th in points scored per game. And Klay Thompson we're hearing reports of Klay Thompson's production regressing. It only comes over the backcourt that the Warriors do anything. The lack of morale because of the controversy involving Draymond Green. So we just hear a bunch of crap, and then the Knicks forget that they can't play defense, and they came up already with a 19-point deficit around the first half, and they just nearly shut the game off at that point. Because Thibodeau can't produce a defensive scheme to save his life. Obi Toppin's only averaging around 19 points, 19 minutes. Derek is their 6th man, and he's only producing 13 minutes because he has a glass ankle. And Jericho Sims is DJ Wilson with brown shirt from 2K to start off his career. We have young depth with no identity that can't produce offense, and we're only going to rely on only chucking the 3 ball and attacking the rim whenever it sees fit. I can't allow Julia, a power forward, to be the highest in 3-point attempts and only make 3 of his 7. RJ Barrett, 1 of 6. Brunson was 1 of 5. And Cam Reddish was 1 of 4. The only person that actually made a shot and only kept around 100%, literally 100%, was Hartenstein, and only went 1 of 1. He was the only thing efficient when it came to Steph Curry grabbing more defensive rebounds. Whenever it came to missing over the 3 ball from top of the arc because they just think they can only beat a team off of their own game and not try to outplay them with their own style. Because Thibodeau can't make it a center team with this amount of talent. It's just not possible. Sure, sure, I get it. They're 8-9, and they have won certain games where they looked competitive. They look like they play hard. But guys, you can't tell whenever they're pushing over in the fast break. You've seen them just backpedal like a cartoon character, and they're just letting their drop defense slug them off. And Thompson just hits them with 3 straight threes in the second quarter. That doesn't tell you something. That the Knicks could possibly just drop into a 12 or 11 seed in the near future. And this is coming out of a season that are having the Sacramento Kings start off over a 5-game winning streak after a slump of a start. De'Aaron Fox is going back-to-back games. The Utah Jazz are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. We're seeing the Wizards resurge back into a playoff contender. They're actually one of the 4 other teams in the East that actually have double-digit wins. That's more than the Nets and the Miami Heat right now. And the Chicago Bulls. Teams that are projected to be playoff contenders. And the Knicks can't even get trying to cover on defense, and they're obviously off a 1-on-3, and they're still going to let the guy score. You know how embarrassing that is to watch? And no, I know, DST, you're a Miami Heat fan. Why concern yourself? Because I still live in the area. I'm going to be watching it. And it comes over my channel, and every time I just see the Knicks, it's just like your high school team that you watch. Like, you don't support them, but you still like acknowledge why they're so mediocre. Like, you're gonna hear that they lose, and they're the most accessible to watch, and the Knicks are the most accessible to watch for me. And you're just seeing this crap just play on TV, and just know possibly they're still gonna be in play-in contention, because how mid the Eastern Conference is, knowing how the Nets are like barely showing out with showcases, knowing that they just got Kyrie Irving back from suspension. Miami Heat are in such a sluggish start; they're currently 3 games below 500. Chicago are obviously losing their defensive unit, and it's just carried over by DeRozan or Levine can actually carry off because Caruso's not much of an offensive alternative to use. Losing Alonzo Ball is obviously a tough loss to have, and Charlotte just suck. So it's probably just written in stone what's going to happen for the playoff scene for the Eastern Conference. And possibly New York can just peek into the bottom seed with extra steps to just get shut out by possibly Milwaukee or Boston. That's what I'm expecting this. We're just exceeding any little meal ticket to just hook up for a playoff succession, even though you're literally in a mini tournament for 7th or 8th seed. I just hope we have some type of mid-season improvements, because I feel like the Knicks can have some winnable games under their belt. I really do. And I really do hope they become successful. I'm not just going to say fuck them all because I don't support them anymore. Nobody wishes that upon a team. The franchise itself, like James Dolan, I hope you do half a backflip. Expeditiously. We face the Thunder again after our loss against them back in the 13th of November, and we're off to Portland. So this is going to be the final game after a 5-game road trip. And 2 of our homestand games will be against Western Conference competition until we're back against Detroit. The Knicks need to clean up and find the type of momentum they need, or else it's just going to be sailing from here. Because they're getting back-to-backs against Chicago on the road. They're going to be facing Golden State again. The Indiana Pacers can actually play good basketball. The Kings have been surging out. The Cavaliers are insane. And they'll be facing the Mavs and Milwaukee that they will never beat. So, I'd rather know if we're ass or we're good at this point. Because just being inconsistent, I'm not tolerating inconsistency on a team, bro. That's more agitating than being ass. Because at least I know where we're at, like the Spurs. So, that's all I have for today. Hopefully, you guys have your own comments of how you feel about the Knicks right now, or how you feel about overpaying over after our rookie deal with somebody that looks like our NBA young boy, and Jalen Brunson that looks like Kyler Murray if he learned how to hoop first in his childhood before picking up baseball and football, and Julius Randle just being an overrated ass power forward that finessed the shit out of the bag and finessed his ass into the 2020 All-Star game. Finessed the shit out of the NBA with that, man. Tell me how you guys feel about it. Comment down below. That's it for me for the DST show. Like, comment, subscribe.